Hello there and welcome to the Champions League Roundup. Now, I did one, I think maybe last week or the week before, cannot remember exactly, but I did a roundup the other week just to round up the Champions League draws that we've had now, and obviously we are coming into the quarterfinals now, and we've had the draw for that today. I did a live video at 11 o'clock this morning. Thanks for everybody that did tune into that. I was quite nervous about it, wondering whether I'd be able to keep my mouth going for that amount of time, but it seemed to work. And I know that the quality of the stream wasn't the best, but I can improve that. I certainly will for the next live time I try and do a live video. So I will improve that, and I'll look into improving that, but I thought it'd be quite nice to do a live stream, and there's a lot of views on it, and some good comments as well. So thanks everybody for tuning into that one today. But let's have a look at the actual results that we've had this week. So we had Roma versus Shaktar Donetsk. They won 1-0 and kind of scraped through, to be honest, to get into the quarter-final stage, because that game finished 2-2 on aggregate. Roma going through just on the away goal. So they were quite lucky, I thought. And I think people were looking at Roma thinking, Roma could be easy pickings here. They really could be. And I don't think anybody is going to be easy pickings in the quarterfinal stage. They've got to the quarterfinals for a reason. Obviously, some people are going to look at teams and they're going to think, right, that team's weaker and this one's stronger and such like that. But they all deserve to be there at the end of the day. And Roma have managed to get there, even though the results haven't necessarily looked impressive throughout the groups and also throughout the round of 16. So people are maybe going to be looking at Roma thinking, that's who we want to draw, but hey, they're there for a reason, and no doubt they'll put up a fight, just like any team will. Now, moving on to this other match of that evening, on Tuesday evening that was, and it was Sevilla versus Manchester United at Old Trafford. Now, going into that game, it was 0-0. Sevilla looked much more dangerous at home than Manchester United did. When they were playing at Sevilla were having chance after chance, and David De Gea was pulling out save after save after save. The defence was doing absolute bits. Unfortunately, that didn't transpire at Old Trafford for Manchester United, and unbelievably, I think it does coincide a little bit with Fellaini being subbed off. Fellaini gets subbed off around 60 minutes. Paul Pogba comes on. Now, obviously, a lot of people have opinions on Marouane Fellaini. I'm not a fan of Marouane Fellaini because he's a great, big, dirty player who just wants to rough people up. But you know what? That was actually keeping it all right for them for quite a while. The problem that you get with when you bring Pogba on, and I don't want to say that Pogba is a problem. Pogba is a very, very talented player. But Fellaini gives you solidity. He's going to stay in that midfield and do the dirty work as dirty as he can. Problem with Pogba is that he wants to free roam just a little bit too much and doesn't necessarily want to do the defensive work a great deal. So, when Sevilla sub on Wissam Ben Yedder, who anybody who plays FIFA knows, even his normal card, never mind special cards, anything like that, he is an absolute nightmare. Well, he proved it in real life as well. And he came on, I think he got subbed on 70 minutes or something like that, and he scored 2 goals within 4 minutes. They go 2-0 up. Lukaku brings a goal back with a night, and it was actually a good, it was like a classic old school Ibrahimovic scissor kick, but it wasn't enough on the night, and they went out 2-1 losers to Sevilla, and Sevilla go through into the quarterfinals. Manchester United looks like they've again got to do a little bit more building ahead of next year. They're obviously still second in the Premier League. I think they've still got the FA Cup to contest, and I think they're against Brighton this weekend. But even so, that's got to be disappointing with the amount of money that Manchester United have spent as well. Fans are probably going to be looking at, why have we gone out to Sevilla? Who, I think someone did a monetary stat with Paul Pogba and Lukaku, their fees put together. So 89 million plus 75 million for those two players, that was the equivalent value of Sevilla's entire team. So people have got to start asking questions of where is that United team going. Yes, they're second in the league. They've done very, very well to be second. But, I can't say anything. They're above us. They're doing better than us in the league right now. Obviously, yes, we have gone through into the Champions League quarter-final stage. But even so, I'm certainly not just going to go out there and, as a Liverpool fan, chastise Manchester United because they've done better than us. That we drew with them and they beat us in the league. I know that they're our rivals, but I'm also a realist as well. I'm not just going to take a swipe at Manchester United just because they've gone out of a competition. Anyway, moving on to Wednesday evening, Bayern Munich went through against Besiktas pretty easily. It was 3-1 on the night. I think it was 8-1 on aggregate against Besiktas. It was it's one of those games, isn't it? I mean, Bayern Munich are such a quality team. People do forget that, obviously, the absolute high quality that Bayern Munich are because of how much they dominate their own league. And obviously people say, oh, the only competitors in that league is, you got Bayern Munich are pretty much, odds on to win it every year. Normally it was Borussia Dortmund, but they seem to slip these days, and especially without Aubameyang, Dortmund have just been dropped out of the Europa League as well. So, I mean, that's terrible for them, I would say. And RB Leipzig. But RB Leipzig are getting to a point now where I don't know where they are in their draw. I think they've just had their draw as well for the Europa League today. So they're still in Europe, still doing well. But they're at a point now where obviously they're going to lose Naby Keita next year to us. People are looking at sniffing around Timo Werner. Look, they've got to start asking questions. Are they going to be, trying to... It's difficult to overthrow Bayern Munich. And this is what I mean. When it comes to European competition, Bayern Munich tend to always get to the latter stages. So people can say that, yeah, the German league, oh, it's non-competitive, this, that and the other. But Bayern Munich are a very dominant team for a reason, because they can do it in Europe as well. Maybe they're not getting as far as they should be in Europe. But, again, they're an absolute powerhouse, and they've gone through into the quarter-final stage as well. And then on that night, it was poised at 1-1. Barcelona had the away goal advantage, but Chelsea had put up a very good fight against Barcelona at Stamford Bridge. It looked like it was going to be poised to be one of those tasty ties where two teams going against each other that have got history, where Chelsea have beaten Barcelona. It was the classic one with the Gary Neville commentary and everything like that, and Fernando Torres scores for them, scores for Chelsea. And you're just thinking, yeah, this is going to be a nice tie. This is going to be really, really good tie. 2 minutes in, 1-0 Barcelona. And this is it. It set the tone straight away. Messi, Megs on Thibaut Courtois, right? Now, Courtois is meant to be like one of the second or third best goalkeepers in the world. I'd probably say he's maybe fifth, behind the likes of Buffon, Ter Stegen, Neuer. I'm trying to think. I'm forgetting key goalkeepers right now. Obviously, De Gea and such like that as well. I would say he's not in the top three for me. Again, he's probably going to slip again because he got megged twice by Messi. And it was unreal. And then there was a shot. The shot by Ousmane Dembele was a weird one because it just looked like it was in perfect position for the keeper to get to it, but they just didn't. And it was very, very perfectly played. Obviously, Barcelona went through 3-0. It was 4-1 on aggregate. Chelsea went out. Barcelona go through, and we're into the quarter-final stage. And the quarter-final stage, as I will sum up, I did the live stream this morning. I'll leave a link for that if you do want to watch it. But yeah, Liverpool, we've got Manchester City. First leg is at home, second leg's at the Etihad. So I'm quite positive though, because I think that there's a lot of people saying, oh, I can't believe we don't have Anfield the second leg. It's like, it doesn't matter. This is the tie. We've got to deal with it. We can beat them. We have beaten them before. They've beaten us. Yes, we just have to go and prove that we're better. We have to go and prove that we can beat them and do it twice, do it over 2 legs, get into the semi-finals, and if not, it just means that we weren't good enough to get there. That's literally all it means. You just have to be cut and dry with it as much as possible. I would love for us to get to the semi-finals. I'm real that it might not happen, but I'm also real that it could happen. Now, the other ties, if I remember off the top of my head, because I forgot to get the graphic up on my iPad. Okay, so I'm going to try and remember this off the top of my head as best as possible. So I know that Juventus got Real Madrid, and that's going to be a hell of a tie. It really is. That's going to be a really, really interesting tie. Bayern Munich got Sevilla, I believe, if I am right in that one. I believe so. And Barcelona got Roma. And I think that is right. I might have that wrong. I should have looked at the graphics first, but I forgot. I'll hold my hands up, I forgot. But I'm pretty sure those are the ties, and they are some awesome ties. People are complaining that big teams are being kept away from each other. Juventus versus Real Madrid, 2 big teams. You can't say fairer than that. You got Juventus that are top of their league, and Real Madrid, they're not top of the league, but I think they're maybe, 7 points away or something like that. Real Madrid, kings of Europe in the last couple of years as well. They've managed, I think they've got it 2 years on the bounce. They've won the Champions League. One of those seasons, they won the league as well. They won their domestic league. You can't say fairer than that. They're not being kept away from each other. You can't say that Liverpool versus Man City, that people aren't excited about that tie. Yes, it would have been cool for it to happen a bit later down the line, but this is it. It's a big tie. It's happening now. Yeah, people might say, oh, Barcelona getting Roma and Bayern Munich getting Sevilla. Look, these are two teams, Roma and Sevilla, that can put a fight up against the bigger teams. Sevilla have proved that they can. Sevilla have got, they've got counter-attacking bloody, what's the name? Like, they've got very good players that can come in and cause damage to anybody. Then you got Roma, who, on their day, they can cause damage as well. It just happens that they're coming up against teams like Barcelona, like Bayern Munich, that are dangerous pretty much at all times. Even on their worst days, they are still going to be dangerous. They're still going to be threatening. And they're going to be very difficult to come up against. But I'm looking forward to all of these ties. That is the Champions League roundup right there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. How have you found the Champions League so far this year, if you are watching it? Liverpool fans, any of those teams' fans, let me know what you think in the comments below. And who do you think is going to go through into the quarterfinal stage? Who do you think is going to go through past that? Who do you think is going to go through into the semi-finals? I am going to do a prediction video later on, maybe in a week or two, about who I think is going to get to the semi-finals. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I will get them into that video as well. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it, and I appreciate the support on the live video as well this morning. Really, really appreciate it. So thank you again. Like the video, subscribe if you're new here. Thanks very much. I've said thanks so much, but I really do mean it. Thank you ever so much for watching this video, and I will catch you later.